Hi, this is Kyle Historillo of Team 11, and this is our storyboard of A Moment in Infinity, a story about a little boy who wants to fly. Please enjoy. So in our first scene, we see a toy plane sitting on a tree stump, and we're slightly zooming out. In the second shot, we have our character, Oliver, popping out right behind the trunk and starts to pick up the plane. And then we zoom out to a medium long shot, and we see Oliver just walking down a hill. We can see his home in the background, and we can see some trees and a nice good tree line at the side. In shot 4, we have a POV shot of Ollie, moving the plane right around in the air, and we get a bit of motion blur in the background. In shot 5, we have Ollie running towards the camera, just really enjoying playing around with the plane. And we get some birds out in the background as well. In this shot, we see the back of Oliver's head as he runs toward the front of the yard, and then he begins to fall on the grass. We then get a medium shot of Ollie right on the grass, playing with the toy plane right in front of his face, and we slightly ease in. We get another POV shot, and we watch him play with the plane in focus, and the background is out of focus. But then we shift that focus about two seconds in, and we get to see a focus of the birds perched up on the tree. Here we have a high angle shot seen from the perspective of the birds, and we have one of the birds fly off, and Oliver catches notice of the bird. In the following shot, we have Oliver noticing the bird's presence, and he gets up really quickly, and it's a nice little medium shot. In the next shot, we see just a medium shot of the bird flapping its wings. We're going to go from normal speed into a nice slow-mo to emphasize this sort of like sense of wonder. In shot 12, we go back to that medium shot of Oliver, and he has this big grin on his face. And at the last second, he kind of tilts his head towards the left. We get a nice little aspect shot of him letting go of the toy plane, and then a nice medium long shot of him getting up and running to the left, flapping his arms. And we can see that same bird in the background. In this shot, Oliver walks up to a tree and looks up. We pan up with him to shot 16, where he has already climbed the tree, and he's looking out over the distance. We rotate around Oliver's head until we get a nice front view. And then we follow Oliver as he tries to jump off the tree and flap his wings to fly. And ultimately, he falls off frame. We get a nice medium shot of Oliver scratching his head because he fell. And we again rotate around his head to the left to get sight of a garage. And then this is a really medium close-up shot of his head, so we see the back of his head, and we see the garage come into focus. Here we have another medium shot of Oliver, and since he has noticed the garage, he has this sort of blank stare, just kind of processing, and it kind of gives a break to the story. We then dolly to the right. We are right behind a desk that's in the garage, and we kind of see a silhouette of Oliver walking in front of the garage. And we see him enter and look around inside the garage. It's a nice medium shot, high angle. Oliver then tries to reach for a hammer that's on a really high table. He tends to fumble around trying to find it, but he eventually gets it. And then we move on to a medium shot of him looking at the hammer. We kind of boom down, but then something catches his eye off screen. We see that it's this box of, you'd think it would be junk, but it's just a bunch of little scraps like skateboards, pieces of wood, and a backpack. And we're going to have some lighting effects to kind of really exaggerate the importance of that. And we go back to Oliver, and we see him have a nice little grin on his face, saying that he has a plan. And then we'll fade to black. Now we have a low angle with the toy plane back in focus, and we can see Oliver's silhouette right on top of the tree, and he is out of focus. And we slightly truck out. And then we see a knee shot. We can see this sense of wings or some mechanism attached to Ollie as we boom up. And we see that he has this mechanism, this flying mechanism attached to his arms and his back. And again, we slightly boom up. And then we do a quick zoom out to reveal that not only does he have a mechanism, he also has a huge giant balloon attached to his back. We have a close-up of Oliver as he closes his eyes and has a deep sigh. And then we rotate to the left to get a nice side view. And then he begins to make his jump. We go into a black screen to represent a closed eye. And then we start to blink. Oliver starts to blink. And he can see the ground slowly move. And at this point, everything is going to be in slow motion. It's going to be this moment of infinity, as the title suggests. And so we see Oliver flying through the air, and the music is starting to climax. There's a lot of happy sounds and just really great upbeat music. And so we truck out to give him a bit more space. We see some birds fly right beside him at a nice, really high angle medium shot. And then we have a nice little side view that's really eye level medium shot. And we truck out to reveal a bird that's in focus. And then we shift the focus back to Oliver with him smiling. And at the same time, we're trucking to the left. So here's the final shot of Oliver's flight. And we can see that he's really, really happy. And it's a nice medium shot with Oliver coming towards us. And then the next shot, everything that was slow motion is now at normal speed. So we see the birds fly off really, really quickly. And we can see Oliver and his balloon glide slowly towards the ground until he hits the floor. Very nice slow descent. And then the balloon pops. And he's dropped to the ground, basically. And then we rotate, we truck, we pan, we boom, all those in combination to get this composition of where we have the plane in the foreground, Oliver in the middle ground, and the tree in the background. And we have Oliver kind of give a good thumbs up, kind of a signal of accomplishment. And at that point, we finish it off with a black screen and the credits roll.